Hi, I'm Isabella. The first time I realized Karen Thompson was going to destroy my life, I was watering my hydrangeas. Something about the way she was watching me from her perfectly manicured front lawn felt different. Not just the usual neighborhood passive aggressive stare, but something predatory. I'd lived next to Karen for 5 years. She was the quintessential suburban queen, mid 40s, blonde highlights, yoga pants, and an attitude that could freeze hell. Our interactions had always been polite but distant, until suddenly they weren't. "Morning, Isabella," she called out, her smile not reaching her eyes. "Lovely day." I waved back, sensing something was off. Michael had been working late recently, distant. Our marriage felt like a delicate piece of china. One wrong move and everything would shatter. By lunch, my best friend Sarah was calling. "Have you heard what's going around?" Her voice was tight with concern. "What are you talking about?" "People are saying, well, there are rumors about you and some guy from work. Inappropriate stuff." My stomach dropped. These weren't just casual whispers. These were calculated attacks designed to destroy my reputation. "That's impossible," I said, my grip tightening on my phone. "Who's spreading this?" Sarah hesitated. "Karen Thompson, apparently. She's been telling everyone at the neighborhood book club that she knows things about you." The pieces started connecting. Karen's husband worked with Michael. Her son went to school with the children of several of my husband's colleagues. She had a network, and she was weaponizing it. What Karen didn't know was that I wasn't going to be a passive target. I was a marketing strategist who'd managed crisis communications for Fortune 500 companies. If she wanted a war, I would give her a masterclass in strategic takedown. My first move would be documentation. Every interaction, every whispered rumor, every suspicious glance. I was going to collect it all. And then, I was going to make Karen wish she'd never learned my name. The neighborhood changed overnight. Conversations would stop when I walked by. Parents at the local park would turn away, shielding their children as if proximity to me might contaminate them. Karen's rumors were spreading like a toxic fungus, and I could feel the judgment in every sideways glance. Michael stopped looking me in the eye. Our dinner conversations became a series of monosyllabic exchanges. One evening, he dropped the bomb casually, between bites of overcooked chicken. "I've been thinking about separation," he said, not even bothering to soften the words. I set down my fork. "Because of Karen's rumors?" "There's always truth in rumors, Isabella," he replied, cold and distant. That was the moment I decided Karen would pay. Not just with whispers, but with consequences. I started my investigation methodically. Sarah helped me document everything. We created a shared digital folder. Screenshots of social media posts, recorded conversations, witness statements. My lawyer, David Rodriguez, was building a case of calculated defamation. "She's using strategic social manipulation," David explained during our consultation. "Spreading just enough doubt to erode your reputation without leaving clear tracks of direct libel." Karen's tactics were sophisticated. She'd drop hints at the local book club, yoga studio, and neighborhood association meetings. Phrases like, "I'm concerned" and "I've heard things" created a cloud of suspicion without making direct accusations. Her primary weapon was social media. Anonymous accounts would share cryptic posts, tagging local community groups. Nothing explicit, but enough to trigger speculation. Screenshots of partial conversations, vague references to workplace impropriety. I discovered she had connections. Her husband worked in Michael's company's HR department, giving her insider access to professional networks. Her son was friends with children of Michael's colleagues. She was systematically poisoning every social circle I belonged to. David helped me start building legal documentation. We gathered evidence of Karen's coordinated campaign: text messages, social media posts, witness statements from neighbors who felt uncomfortable with the spreading rumors. "We need concrete proof of malicious intent," David advised. "Right now, she's been careful, suggestive, but not explicitly libelous." The neighborhood was transforming. Invitations disappeared. Professional networks grew silent. Michael became more distant, influenced by the whispers and suggestions. But I wasn't going to be a victim. I was going to be a strategist, and Karen had no idea what was coming. My counterattack began with patience and precision. Sarah helped me set up a network of allies, former colleagues, neighborhood contacts who were skeptical of Karen's rumors. We created a digital trail that would eventually become her downfall. I discovered Karen's real motivation by accident. At a local coffee shop, I overheard her talking to another neighborhood wife. Years ago, I'd been promoted over Karen's sister-in-law at a marketing conference. The rejected relative had never gotten over it, and Karen saw an opportunity for revenge. This isn't just about rumors, David explained during our strategy session. This is a calculated attempt at professional and personal destruction. We identified Karen's primary communication channels: her book club, the neighborhood association, social media groups. Each became a potential point of strategic exposure. I began planting controlled information, subtle breadcrumbs that would eventually lead to her complete exposure. Sarah helped document everything, every conversation, every interaction, creating a comprehensive timeline of Karen's manipulation. The turning point came unexpectedly. Michael's company HR department received an anonymous package, meticulously documented evidence of Karen's husband attempting to manipulate company hiring practices. The connection to Karen was unmistakable. "How did you get this?" Michael asked, looking at me with a mixture of suspicion and newfound respect. I simply smiled. Documentation is a powerful thing. His attitude shifted. The rumors that had once seemed so convincing now looked like a desperate attempt at manipulation. I watched the doubt creep into his eyes. Not just about the rumors, but about Karen's entire narrative. David prepared legal documents, cease and desist letters, potential defamation suits, each carefully worded to expose Karen's systematic attempt to destroy my reputation. The neighborhood began to turn. People who had once whispered started asking questions. The carefully constructed web of rumors began to unravel, thread by thread. "I want her to know exactly what she's lost," I told Sarah, watching Karen's social standing crumble. Karen had made a critical mistake. She'd underestimated my ability to fight back. And now she was about to learn that some wars are won before the first shot is fired. The final act was approaching, and I was going to make sure Karen understood the true meaning of consequence. The final hearing was more of a public execution than a legal proceeding. David Rodriguez presented our meticulously compiled evidence with surgical precision. Karen's web of lies unraveled in front of the neighborhood association, her professional contacts, and most importantly, her own family. We revealed everything: her coordinated campaign of rumors, the manipulative tactics, the attempt to destroy my professional reputation. Each piece of evidence landed like a perfectly aimed arrow. Karen's husband was the first to crack. Facing potential professional repercussions from his own company's HR investigation, he distanced himself from her narrative. Her social network, the very people she'd used to spread rumors, began to abandon her. She deliberately attempted to sabotage my professional and personal life, I stated calmly, my voice steady and controlled. The neighborhood association found her actions so egregious that they not only banned her from future meetings, but also formally censured her. Her social currency, the thing she'd valued more than truth, was completely depleted. Michael's attitude had transformed completely. The divorce proceedings were quietly shelved. He recognized how close he'd come to destroying our marriage based on baseless rumors. "I should have trusted you," he admitted during a private conversation. But trust, I realized, wasn't something that could be instantly restored. It would take time, and I wasn't sure I was ready to simply forgive and forget. Sarah organized a small gathering of my closest professional and personal contacts. It was a celebration of vindication, but more importantly, a reconstruction of my social network. David's final legal maneuver was brilliant. We filed a defamation suit that would ensure Karen's reputation would be permanently marked. Future background checks would reveal the systematic campaign of lies she'd orchestrated. Some people, David told me, destroy themselves more effectively than any external force could. Karen's professional consulting business collapsed. Her social connections evaporated. The very network she'd used to spread rumors became the instrument of her own destruction. I looked at the future, not with anger, but with a sense of calculated satisfaction. I hadn't just survived. I had transformed a potential tragedy into a masterclass of strategic defense. The whispers had stopped, and in their place, a new narrative had emerged, one of resilience, strategy, and ultimate victory. Based on the story's themes of social manipulation, trust, and revenge, here's a compelling question for audience engagement. When someone tries to destroy your reputation with lies, how far would you go to protect yourself? Is silence and dignity the high road, or is strategic exposure the only way to reclaim your narrative? Drop your most honest thoughts in the comments below. And be real about what you'd actually do, not what sounds good. Have you ever been in a situation where rumors threatened everything you've built? Share your story. Maybe your experience could help someone else navigate their own battle. If you enjoyed Whispers Next Door, smash that like button and subscribe. More stories like this are coming, where strategy meets survival. Let's keep these conversations going.